Number one thing you will be watching for in Apple earnings today?
Well, it's really going to come down to the iPhone and really how well did the iPhone do. They made some announcements about how much they shipped in the first weekend of sales, but, are they going to be able to break that just over 38 million number? That's kind of what we're looking for, and I think that's going to be most interesting. And I think after that, it will be what happens to the iPad, because the iPad has obviously been very, very pressured. We're seeing tablets globally. We're actually looking for pretty much flat revenue growth for the whole category this year. So seeing how the iPad is trending is a really important data point.
And Crawford, I think margins are going to be a huge deal. I mean, last year, this time, we had 37% margins. Those creeped up all the way to 39% in the quarter before the new iPhone came out. Do you think when we get a margin number, it's going to be indicative of whether or not the iPhone 6 Plus is selling more than the 6? Or, what might a higher margin number tell us? And conversely, what might a lower margin number tell us?
Yeah, great question. So again, I was answering from a product standpoint.
That's my job.
From a margin standpoint, outside of products, it will absolutely speak to this mix of the 6 Plus versus the 6. That is obviously a higher margin product. People are going to have to pay up for it, and I think that is going to be a big driver of the margins. I also think that a richer mix of some of the iPad products could help, but probably not nearly as much as the phones will help. And I suspect you're going to see margins hold.
Crawford, Apple Pay is launching today. I just got my software update on my phone ready to download so I can use it. But will we be getting any more details, early details about how it's working?
Doubtful. I don't think they're going to say a lot about it. I think it's obviously they may make some statements around some of their partnerships that they've announced as they start to roll those out. But I think that it's going to be too early to tell. And I think that we're going to hear about that 3 months from now. Now, there may be some checkpoints in between, but this is a moment in the payment system that we're in the payment universe that we're going to look back at. Today, as they launch Apple Pay, it is the spot where the lead dog comes out, legitimizes the market, and quite frankly, if any other company benefits from what's happening today, it's Google. Because eventually it means that they have to now, the people will start behaving in a different way, paying in a different way, and it's going to accelerate the whole sector to move forward. So I think today is more of a moment as opposed to a place that you're going to get a lot of data.
And very rare that we get a product announcement so close to earnings. I was looking for clues. I thought he might drop a new number on us, Tim Cook, last week at the iPad announcement, and he did not. Although he did make some comparisons to iPad sales and all of the major vendors of PCs, showing that they've sold more iPads than any major PC maker has over the course of the last year. So I think you're right to focus on that. I'd be curious to see what they did in the last quarter, as rumors of the next iPads were already out there.
I wondered why he did that, because their Mac business is still a huge part of their business. I don't
But a small part of their business compared to the other PC makers.
That's right. But, our data suggests that, in the most recent quarter, Apple broke the top 5 in terms of PC manufacturers. That's a huge moment, right? We're seeing that we're now seeing this big change in terms of acceptance for the Mac. It's not just in classrooms and high schools, but it's moving into the enterprise, albeit through the front door, not through the CIO's office. So that's another reason why I think margins could hold. Those are really, really nice gross margins. And again, I think they're going to meaningfully contribute in the quarter.